Okay, we're back. So, Kendra, you were on the show Pirate Master, and the other pirates who were not the captain of the ship had the
Yes.
opportunity to mutiny against whoever that was the captain. So, knowing everything that you know now, do you wish you had mutinied?
Yeah, for a couple of reasons. I wish I'd mutinied. One of the reasons we didn't was because you had to have the entire crew plus both officers to mutiny, and we could never get both officers to agree to it because why would they? They were getting food and extra money. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons I wish I would have mutinied is because our black spot said if you failed a mutiny, you would be sent to the brig, and we never did find out what the brig was. So that's one of the main reasons I really wish we would have mutinied.
Hmm. So, um, do you think the rule that everyone had to mutiny, that it had to be unanimous to overthrow the captain worked, or do you think it should have been a majority?
I think it should have been a majority. There was no way you were going to get the two officers to join you. I know a couple of them interviewed on the show saying, "Oh, if somebody asked me to mutiny, of course I would." They were lying. They weren't going to mutiny because we would ask them, and they kept saying no. They had the good life. They had the comfy bedroom. They had the extra food. Why would they give that up?
Um, so, uh, do you want to answer some questions about Krista and Nessa, or should I take the hard turn and ask you about Cheryl?
You can ask me about any of them.
Okay, so this is kind of a hard turn, but Cheryl was a cast member of Pirate Master who committed suicide while the show was airing. I think because her boyfriend had committed suicide himself, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. It was her boyfriend committed suicide, and then when the show got canceled, she just kind of felt that it was all for nothing.
Cheryl also had some pretty harsh words for Jay and Krista, as well as some of the other cast members at times, including you. So, how much
Yeah.
interaction did you have with Cheryl before she passed away?
Not much. We actually hated each other. She was not the greatest person in the world. Just because she's dead, I'm not going to speak nice about her. She made my life a living hell when I got voted off the show, and we never spoke again as soon as we were off the island.
Have you kept in touch with any of the other cast members?
A good portion of them. I see Christian once a year, and every once in a while I'll talk to Laura. Jay and I were just talking a couple months ago. I haven't talked to Krista since her last baby was born.
Hmm.
I think she's had two babies since the show. Uh, Asmith and I every once in a while exchange a Facebook note. Jupiter. I don't talk to him a whole lot. I just saw Ben for the first time last summer since the show aired. His band came out and played in LA, and I went down with Laurel to go see them. John is back and forth in Afghanistan. None of us have seen him since about 2008.
Wow.
Now, who else was there? Oh, Louie. Louie and I talk about once a year. Give each other a call around the holidays.
Um,
And I visited him a few years ago.
do you think how many of those people do you think might be interested in doing in being part of a 7-year Pirate Master reunion show?
Oh, if you paid them, they'd do anything. Most of them don't go out and do many of the events because they're too broke. But if somebody offers them money, they'll be there.
What have you been up to since Pirate Master aired in the summer of 2007?
Just about everything. I didn't know after being on a reality show that you join a giant reality family and get to meet people from all the shows, and then we go on and do charity events. I had absolutely no idea that was going to happen. So that was kind of a really neat turn. I've met tons of awesome people. I've gotten to travel to different places. That was fabulous. And then I just pretty much kept working. I was one of the few that kept my job on the show, and I travel around the world and have fun. Still perform as a pirate on occasion.
I've noticed on Facebook that you've competed in a bunch of reality rallies in Temecula, California.
Yes.
What are some of the causes that you've competed for, or has it been for the same cause or causes every time?
There's different ones. The reality rally is for Michelle's place, the Breast Cancer Resource Center in Temecula, that will help out any man or woman, and we are required to raise $400 to attend, which is is a free mammogram for an uninsured man or woman. I also do Give Kids the World with Hearts of Reality out in Florida and Orlando. It's the end of July, beginning of August-ish. And that one is to raise money for the Give Kids the World place where all the children with life-threatening illnesses and their families stay when their wish with Make-A-Wish Foundation is to do Central Florida, do Disney World and all that good stuff. I've done juvenile diabetes over in Cincinnati, SIDS in Houston, and Children's Hospital Louisville in Kentucky.
Those are great causes. I've heard of Michelle's Place. That's what it's called, right?
Yes, Michelle's Place.
Because of the Survivors part in the reality rally. You've probably met.
It's a great cause.
Yeah, you've probably met Billy Garcia from Survivor at a reality rally, right?
Oh yeah, he's wonderful.
You know, I've interviewed him for this podcast, and people to this day still spam the videos with comments in English and Spanish. There seem to be a lot of people who want to see Billy on Survivor again.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to give him a second chance. It was really cruel that his tribe threw the challenge to vote him out, but he'll never be forgotten for that too.
Yeah. So, what has it been like working for Sony?
I've been with Sony 18 years now in 4 different positions, and it's a good company. They let me take 7 weeks off to go do the show. It's a huge company, so you can move around, and it's the entertainment industry, so you never know what you're going to see wandering around the lot.
Maybe a better question that I could have asked you was, what is your current position and what do you do now?
Simplified, I'm the girl that says no. That's what I'm known for. I work for Sony Pictures Classics, which is our independent and foreign film division. We usually are the ones nominated for like the best foreign film each year in the Academy Awards. And people call me to license clips and stills. I send out the money for our movies, and I make sure all our marketing, like DVDs and the mailers you get an email about new movies coming out, I make sure they're all legally correct with the actor's contract.
So I take it that you were working for Sony Pictures Classics, or Sony, when you left to be on Pirate Master?
I just started working for Sony Pictures Classics, and a couple friends called and said, hey, there's this new pirate show, you should try out for it. And I mentioned it to my boss, and she said, yes, you have to try out for this show. And I said, well, if I get it, you got to let me have the time off, and the rest is history.
So there's a new show, Crossbones, on NBC this summer. Pirate Master was on during the summer, but Survivor also premiered during the summer. So do you think people will watch Crossbones?
I think they might have. We didn't have that bad of a viewing. I think we were like 7 million viewers when they canceled us. They just told me that somebody at CBS was not into the show, is what I heard from producers right after it got canceled. I think people will watch Crossbones. I think starting at any show in the summer is hard because everybody's out and not inside watching TV,
Yeah.
especially in the northern states, because, now as winter's gone, they're finally outside. Our show did have the original Survivor premiere date. It was like the anniversary date when they put us on, but didn't help. I'm from Alaska, and everybody up there said, no, I was busy outside hunting and fishing. I wasn't watching TV, so nobody up there saw it.
Do you have any advice for someone who wants to apply for a reality TV show?
Do it. Be yourself. Try not to. You can't fake a different character, but you need to be different and unique. They do cast certain types, like Survivor will cast. They'll always have a young, pretty blonde girl. They'll always have a good-looking blonde man. They'll always have an old man and an old woman. Figure out which one that you would end up being cast at, and put all your effort towards that. If they can't figure out which parts that you're going to be, they're probably not going to be that interested in you. Are you going to be the villain? Are you going to be the what's his face, the one that they had on about 4 times?
Boston Rob.
Or are you going to be? Oh no, the other one.
Rupert.
Rupert wasn't really a villain. Why can't I think of his name? The jerk that was burning everybody's stuff on the first time he went on.
Russell Hantz.
Yeah. Russell was actually in our final casting. and they decided that he needed to be on Survivor instead.
Oh, but then they delayed from 2007. Oh, only 2 years, really. But they
Yeah.
waited 2 years to cast him for Survivor.
Right, but Jamie, who ended up on Survivor China, which aired right after our show, she was also in my final casting. She was in a lot of my rotations at the hotel.
Yeah, and Joe Don, I think, was going to be on Survivor Guatemala, but they cast him for Pirate Master instead.
Well, he was going to be on, but he broke his ankle like a week before they had to fly out to Guatemala. He said he got cussed out royally by the producers, and then they ended up calling him back when they did Pirate Master.
Cool, so that worked out for him. Yeah, I'm thinking
I
about
think I would have done better if I'd have been on Survivor. I think I would have
maybe
made it farther.
maybe like is there are so you were on Pirate Master. Is there's no rule that says that you can't apply to be on Survivor, right?
Right, but it's all Mark Burnett stuff, and the producers flat out told us, unless you have a story, we'll call you. You know, like Boston Rob had a story. He and Amber met, and then they took him on Amazing Race. But a lot of these shows are produced by the same group of people, so I'm in the Rolodex. They'll call me if they want me, type thing. I thought about trying out for VH1, but I'm too old and my boobs aren't big enough.
Oh. Well, I was gonna say.
I have the nickname, but I just don't have the body for it anymore.
Well, I was gonna say that like earlier that Krista was kind of like the hot single mom with the blonde hair on Pirate Master,
Oh yeah, she was.
and I'm sure that Nessa, I'm sure that a lot of guys who watched Pirate Master had crushes on Nessa.
I'm sure they did too. She's got a fantastic body from she does boxing.
You know, I vaguely remember Jay saying on the show that Nessa's a boxer. I wouldn't want to go up against her in the final two.
No, that girl could run uphill like nobody else on that show. She would train with the boxers running uphill all the time, and then of course she was in the gym, and she just was rock hard body and wouldn't stop. The only thing that stopped her was she couldn't ever figure out any of the clues.
Yeah. So part of the reason why I wanted to ask you whether you had any advice for someone who wants to apply to be on a reality show is in case anyone out there watches this and wants to apply to be on a reality show. But I'm also thinking about applying for the Amazing Race with my dad when he retires.
Oh, that would be good. You need to have some sort of Amazing Race. Like, are you guys going to argue? You don't want to be, hey, we're the happy people, we always get along. You want to have a story. Why are you guys doing this together? Why do you want to be on there? That's kind of the best advice I could give you.
Yeah. Do you have anything that you want to promote?
Not really. You know, if people want, come support the charities. A lot of us reality people are usually asking on Facebook for donations. The donations go right to the charities for each event that we're working. We don't get anything from it. They're wonderful charities. That's the only thing I can think of. I am going to be pushing Give Kids the World. I need to raise $500 for them before the end of July. So I'm going to start putting that up, and every dollar helps.
Give Kids the World.
Yes, the event itself is called Hearts of Reality.
Is there anything you want to say to our viewers? Or in this case, our listeners?
Thanks for watching Pirate Master. If you watched it, thanks for listening to me today. And if you did miss Pirate Master and you want to see what it was all about, I noticed all the episodes have been uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah.
So just do a search on there and go back and reminisce and watch the old lady on there trying not to get eliminated. The funny thing is when I got on the show, my parents were big Survivor fans. And before I left, they said, do not get voted out first. And if you do, you need to change your name and never contact us again.
Oh, wow.
That was my motivation. So when I got off the show, I called them up and I said, Mom, Dad, and they go, we don't want to know what happened. Don't spoil it for us. And I said, I only want to tell you one thing. I was not first, so you have to take my phone calls.
Good. Well, thanks for your time, Kendra. Stay on the line. I'm just going to close out this podcast. To you guys who out there who watched this, thanks for watching. As always, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. And If you want to, you can leave voicemails and we'll play them um, on the show and we'll answer them. And yeah, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.